Hello and welcome to Zoom Advisement for Professional Communication students. Most of you are second semester going into your third semester, so we're really excited to help you get registered. I'm here today, I'm Lori Betcher, your program director, and I'm here today with Jacob, and Jacob is your advisor. And I'm also here with Miss Marion, who many of you have had in classes. She is an instructor in professional communications along with myself and Jason and now Jenna. So we're excited to have you today and hope to cover all the information that you need to know. So we're going to start with, I'm going to turn it over to Jacob, and Jacob is going to talk to you about your degree evaluation and everything else that you need to be aware of before you register for your courses. When he's done, it's going to come back to Marion and myself, and we're going to tell you about the courses you need to register for fall. We're going to help you look up some CRN numbers for that and just give you background information on those actual courses. And then we'll round it out with a Q&A. And since no one is in the session with us today, what we're going to do is just going to provide our contact information. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to help. Okay, so let's get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing, and Jacob, I'm going to make you a co-host so you can share your screen. And now you should be able to do that. So we will turn it over to Jacob.
Sounds good. So, hi everyone. As Lori kind of mentioned, my name is Jacob Schleisner, and I am the academic advisor that works with students in professional communications. So a few things that we like to go over in these advisement sessions. We do have up on the screen, you should be able to see important dates. Most of them have, we're kind of starting to get past them. Today that we're recording this is April 19th. So the ones that we kind of have looking forward, April 23rd is the last day to drop 16-week classes. Fall registration is coming up, April 26th and 27th for continuing students for fall registration. For those of you interested in summer classes, that registration period is already open. So if you have questions about that, you can always reach out to me. And then the other date we like to mention for students is the last day to drop second 8-week classes is May 7th. So you can see a few other reminders up here. We like to remind students to stay in good academic and financial aid standing. You need to maintain a 2.0 term and 2.0 cumulative GPA. We also have an added requirement for good financial aid SAP standing of completing 67% of your attempted credits each semester. Now, I know that that can get kind of confusing. So if you ever have questions or you're ever considering dropping classes, please reach out to myself or one of the other advisors, and we can kind of talk you through some of the implications for dropping. All right. A few other reminders, just a couple of highlights. If you are looking to use financial aid for the 2021-2022 school year, the FAFSA application is open. If you have questions about that, contact Student Central. There's some other reminders on here as well. The main one I'm gonna just mention quickly is career services and career development. A lot of students think this is just for students that are graduating. We really encourage you to seek out career services if you need any help with finding different opportunities while you're in school, working on your resume, interview skills, things like that. So I just want to highlight that quickly.
I'm going to hop in, Jacob. Yeah. Oh, if you can go back to that slide. Jacob has on his slide about the sexual assault not anymore training. And I do want to share that both Marion and I have gone through that as part of CVTC. This is also available for students. It is fantastic on your resume. And also the training is really short and so valuable, not just in my life as a professional in case students were to approach me and this would be a situation, but also I think in your personal life, because you don't know how to handle something like that, and you hope that you never have to. But when and if it does, then you have the resources that you know how to help those that you love and care about. You also can learn some of the terminology, which I didn't understand until I took that course. So I strongly recommend that you take advantage of that while you're here.
I agree with Lori. It was very valuable training, very accessible and engaging. So I would recommend you would take that too. Easy to get through, not very long.
Yeah, thank you both for that. That's some really great insight. I would also say, if you ever have any other questions or concerns about Title IX, which also covers pregnancy and parenting accommodations, we have a great diversity resources team that oversees all of that information. Really, really great information on my CVTC. So always feel free to ask questions.
Yep. Marion and I work with students every semester who are bringing bundles of joy into the world. And we want to make that happen for you and still make your education dreams come true. So we love to work with those students. Just make sure that you take advantage of those resources.
Yeah. And then just to kind of round out this page, I guess, we also do have a transfer resource page. The big thing I'll say with this, if you're ever considering transferring credits, reach out to the institution that you are looking to transfer credits into, because at the end of the day, they are going to be the final say in what will transfer from CVTC into one of their programs. So we can give you some initial information, but you're always going to be further ahead by reaching out to those institutions as well. So now we're going to go through running a degree evaluation. And this is really one of the most important aspects of this presentation because it helps us make sure that we're on track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly run through this. I'm hoping, some of you will be able to run through this with us, at home. And then I'll help you read a degree evaluation and just give you some basic tools on, what you're looking at. And it's kind of confusing sometimes. So we'll walk through that as well. But you're going to start out by logging into my CVTC. And you can see on the right-hand side of this presentation, we kind of have a little video attached. So you're going to log into my CVTC. You're going to go up to the top right-hand corner where it says SIS, which stands for Student Information System. Whoops. And you're going to click that. And that'll bring you to a page that looks like this. Now, there's going to be 4 tabs. There might be fewer for you because you're a student. There's going to be some tabs at the top. You're going to want to go to the student one. From there, you're going to go down to student records and click that. From there, you're going to scroll all the way down to the second from the bottom, which should read degree evaluation. You're going to want to make sure that you are selecting the current academic term from the drop-down list. And you're always going to want to make sure it says the current term and credit, not CEU. There'll be 2 options. You'll want the credit one. And then you're going to press submit. And then you're going to click generate new evaluation. From there, what should come up is your program. In this example, it says business management. Yours will say professional communications. You'll want to make sure that the little bubble next to program is clicked. You'll click generate request. And that will bring you to this page. This is the final page before the evaluation comes up. You're going to make sure detail requirements is filled in. And that should bring up your degree evaluation. I know it's a lot of steps, but that's kind of the way you would go about getting there. Now, as for reading your degree evaluation, as I mentioned, it can be kind of confusing. So we've really highlighted the most important bits of it. So the first thing we like to highlight to students is at the top, it'll say catalog term, and it should say the semester that you began at CVTC in the professional communications program. So
I'm going to interrupt Jacob just a second here. So students, if you ever contact either myself or Jacob and say, you know what, I've got a question about, do I have to take this course? Do I not have to take this course? The very first question we are always going to ask you is, what is your catalog year? So you need to know this all the time. If most of you right now are in your 2020 fall catalog year, that's when you started the program. And because sometimes sometimes the requirements in a program change, and we don't want you to have to take any more courses than you are required to. And sometimes if students are looking at multiple program requirement sheets, you're taking way too many courses. So always know this and let us help you right away by telling us that, and we'll look up the information for you.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And sometimes we know that students, they'll start in, a different program at CVTC, and then they'll start, let's say, the professional communications program. You're starting on the catalog term that you started the program, not necessarily when you started at the college. And that's really important because, like Lori mentioned, we want to make sure you're following the requirements from when you started the program so that there's no surprises about a class that you have to take. So that is really important, the catalog term. The next part, if you scroll a little bit down, is going to show the minimum credit hours required to graduate and the number of credits you've completed. So in this example, this program has 61 required credits. This student has completed 28 credits. So they're about halfway done. Now for all of you, or most of you, depending on, if you're second semester students going into third semester, it's going to be something kind of similar to this, where you're going to look like you're about halfway through, give or take a few. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's something we like to point out also, just to make sure, if you notice that that number is kind of a strange number, that there aren't as many credits or there are too many credits, reach out to your advisor and you can ask them about that. It's also going to show your program GPA required to graduate and your program GPA. Again, in this example, the minimum to stay in good standing is a 2.0. The student has a 3.39. So just another thing to keep in mind.
And if you want to graduate with honors and wear the really cool cords, you have to be at 3.5.
Right. So yep, just something to also pay attention to. So now this is kind of the meat of the degree evaluation, is when you scroll down and start seeing all of these courses listed out with course numbers. You're going to see on the left-hand side, it's either going to say yes in black text or no in red text. Now, yes indicates you have completed that course that fulfills the requirement that's posted. So if you take the first one up here, this one's marked yes. It has the course number, the number of credits. It also will have the term that you took the course, and then it's going to have the course title as well as a grade. So that means that this student in this example has completed that course. One thing you might notice is if you've transferred in any credits, it won't have a grade. It'll say TR, indicating a transfer. So as long as it still says yes, that means that course transferred in and you received credit, but it won't necessarily have a grade. It probably won't have a grade. Now, if you have a no, the reason you would have a no would be because you have not completed that requirement and you're not currently registered for that requirement. So it's going to have the course number. It probably won't have the course title. There's not going to be a grade or an indicator over here either. Now, what you'll notice that might seem a little strange to you is that this student has a yes, got the course title, but there's no grade and there is a letter R. That means the student is currently registered. So it's showing up that that requirement is kind of in process. So again, as long as you don't drop that course, this student would meet that requirement once they pass that class. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Now, one thing I want to mention, because it's very common, is that you may go onto your degree evaluation and see something that doesn't really make sense to you. Maybe you've already taken a math class and you thought it would be covered for the math requirement for professional communications. If you think that it should be covered, but it's not, make sure you reach out to me so that we can kind of talk about why that might be. It could be that the department doesn't, has a different requirement for math. It could also be that we need to get approval from Lori to see whether that requirement can be substituted. So I don't want you to panic if you see a no there when you think that you have a requirement met. We really just want to talk about it to see, where the confusion might be. Lori's going to talk soon a little bit more about registering for classes, but a lot of times students will use their degree evaluation to decide what courses they need to take next. So we'll kind of go into that now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jacob. That was awesome information. And it's very, very important that you know where your standings are. I recommend that you check that degree evaluation every semester, because we have students all the time that think that they're going to graduate, and then they print out their degree evaluation. They say, wait a minute, I didn't know I had to take this course. And maybe it was one they were supposed to take first semester and they decided they'd take it later on and then forgot. So very, very important if you want to graduate on time to follow that degree evaluation. So thank you again, Jacob, for covering that with us. Marion and I are going to jump in and talk a little bit. Know that the presentation that I'm sending you, it does have the information here that Jacob just went over about how to run your degree evaluation. It doesn't show the steps like he did, which he walked us through, and that was awesome. But this is the written directions if you need those. So most likely, this is your program requirement sheet right here. You started August 2020. If it is not, I do have a link here that you can click on. And if you scroll down halfway down on the page, that's where all the program requirement sheets are listed. And you can find the one that is your catalog year. Also, I sent you out earlier, I think it was last week, you have a program tracking and skills document. Make sure you have one of those saved to your computer, because this guides us as we go through the program and the courses. And when you get in your final semester and we have the capstone course and you're saying, well, what skills did I learn in these courses? What do I put on my resume? We have it all right here for you. Nice, neat little package. And we also look at the certificates available to you. So most of you are completing your second semester right now, and you are getting ready to register for third semester classes. So Marion, I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you want to talk about proposal and grant writing?
Sure. The proposal and grant writing is going to be taught by one of my colleagues from the English department. So we're excited to have Jenna Kulashevitz on board for the fall. And this is a class that will teach you a lot of really practical skills. Some of you may be familiar with grant writing from some jobs that you have done. I've written a few grants in my previous jobs. This will come in really handy for you, or really helpful if you are thinking about working for a nonprofit in the future, or even if you're working for a government agency. Very often you will be participating in grant writing for those types of organizations. So the course will expose you to a number of grant proposal formats. And the emphasis in this class is on developing and writing proposals for real clients. So you will get a chance to seek out and to participate in writing some real grants. And you'll be exposed to lots of different types of grant writing. And Jenna will walk you through what it's like to apply for a grant, and the wording, the types of grants that are out there. So expect to build your skills with a real life situation. And one of my students even came back after taking this class, and I helped her fill out a grant application for a local organization. So this is something that many of you will find that you'll be using in real life in the future.
Yeah. And teaching the capstone course, I noticed that a lot of students include some of their grant writing work in their career portfolios. So you're going to get some great tools in there. Next, we have the digital media communications course, and I'm really excited because I teach that course this semester. And we cover things from legalities, making sure that we have social and community rules posted, that we can run a contest or sweepstakes legally and in compliance, which a lot of the ones that we see on social media are not. And then we cover the top 4 social media platforms, which are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And we look at them from a business perspective and how to post quality, relevant content on those platforms. And we round out the course with learning how to create a content calendar. So that's a really fun course. You'll notice that all of the professional communication courses, all the 699 ones, are 8 weeks long. So that grant proposal, and I'm not sure that these are correct because I know that there had to be some adjustments made for fall 2021, but all of these courses are 8 weeks unless otherwise specified. The third course we have is writing content for the web, and it's actually called digital content writing. There was a name change, still the same course, just a name change. And what we look at with that is really learning how to author quality relevant content for online atmospheres. And we're talking about headlines and structures and lists and credibility and images, all of those different things that make our digital writing powerful. And we post on a blog all semester long, so we can see our digital writing in action. And we round out the course with, you get to publish an article on BuzzFeed. So that's a really fun inclusion in your career portfolio. So Marion, you can take us through the last two.
Sure. The Intro to Mass Comm is a class that's also taught by one of my colleagues. Oh, here's my big orange cat saying hi. The Intro to Mass Comm is taught by Dale Dittmer, who is one of my colleagues in the English department. This is one of the 16-week classes, so one of the few that isn't taught in the 8-week format. It is online, and this is more of a survey course. So you're going to be learning about new media, the impact of mass communications on business and society. Dale touches a little bit on media law and ethics. Now, this sounds like a lot of the things that I encountered in my journalism degree. And he will talk about, kind of how popular culture fits into the media. So you're going to get a different view of media with the discussion of students as consumers of media and how media has a role in workplace and society. So you're not doing as much writing. You'll do some writing in this class, you are going to, but it's from a different perspective, and it's more of an emphasis on mass media and mass communication. So a little bit different perspective.
My undergraduate is in public relations, mass communications, and the Intro to Mass Communications was my favorite course. I loved that course. It was such a unique view.
It's a really different approach from being the writer to understanding how the writing and the communication affects us in society.
Yep.
And then the last class you'll notice is outside of the communication realm. So the Introduction to Sociology is a class that will cover the basics of, what is sociology. So it includes culture, race, gender, group behavior, social change. I know that a number of instructors teach this, and they go about discussing the sociological perspective and look at multiculturalism. You will discuss and write about social issues and really look at how those issues affect ourselves and how they affect society in general. There's really an emphasis on critical thinking, and some of the activities that you will be participating in will look at how to use your critical thinking skills and look at how social factors influence your beliefs and behaviors. So there's a connection there with our writing, our interaction with the media. And most students say that this class really broadens their minds, and they see things like culture and race from a broader perspective after taking this class. It's a really good complement to the other classes that you'll be taking. And I think there's a good connection with the mass communication class as well.
So you can see you have a lot to look forward to this coming semester, and we're really excited about it. I do want to remind you that these first 4 courses are fall only courses. That means if you don't take them this fall, you have to wait until next fall to take them again. That's again why it's really important to be looking at your degree evaluation and following your program requirement sheet so you can graduate on time. So let's say that we want to register for some of these classes. So what we're going to do is we are coming over here and I'll actually back it up here and click on my CVTC. Everybody knows where that is. And we're going to go under records and registration and we're going to choose search course offerings. This is where we do this. And the first course that we're going to be looking at is proposal in grant writing. So that's course 699125. And we come here and we want to make sure that we're looking at it for fall of 2021. And it's 699125. And we're going to do search. And this will populate. And you can see here is the proposal in grant writing course. The CRN, this is the number that you want to write down because when it is time to register, then you have your CRNs already. So it's 12067. And that takes place the first 8 weeks of the semester. And it says staff, but as we mentioned, Jenna will be teaching that course and it is an online format. Okay. Our next course is digital media communications. So make sure that you write down 12067 for proposal in grant writing. For digital media communications, this is taught the first 8 weeks as well. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's the second 8 weeks. Okay, it is the second 8 weeks. And that is course 12068. You can see that's me and it's an online course. So 12068. Then we have digital content writing, which is 699133. Okay. And that one is the first 8 weeks. Okay, so first 8 weeks here, 12069 online, and that one's with me. Marion, I didn't even realize you weren't teaching. Oh, you're teaching first semester courses next semester.
Right. Yep,
that's right.
I've got 2 that are the first semester, first 8 weeks.
So intro to mass, oh, excuse me, what?
In the first semester courses I have.
Yeah. Intro to mass communications is 801141, I believe. So you will have, I believe, a couple of options. Oh, no, there's only one option for this course. As Marion said, it is with Dale. It's an online course. This one runs the full 16 weeks. And that course is 11560. 11560. And then we have our last one, which is 809196. We come up here. An Intro to Sociology offers you a couple of options. Again, this is a 16-week course. So you have 3 options for online here. Okay. You have an option for online live. And what that is that's a virtual class taken over the computer where it is in real time. And you just participate from the comfort of your home or wherever you choose to. But that's what online live is. And then we have one face-to-face section on Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 to 12:30 on the Eau Claire campus on Claremont. So you're going to choose which one best works for you, works for your schedule, works for your learning style, and you can write that number down. I will blow that up here for a second just so you can see the different options. Christy Hagan, Karen Lloyd, and Tim Sexton, all fantastic instructors. You can't go wrong with any of them. So I think you'll really enjoy those courses. So hopefully you've been able to write down the CRN number. And I'm gonna go back here. And oops, it moved over here. And so I did put two links in here. One of them is a class schedule and another is an academic planner. And these are just resources if you want to be able to write down and organize yourself. They're provided by the college, so we included those in there for you. We did go over the CRN numbers, and I think that is all that we have. We will open it up for a Q&A. Since there's no one here, then we'll just tell you that we will provide our contact information, and the three of us are always open and willing to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. Please feel free to reach out. Marion, is there anything you want to say in closing?
No, I have some of you in class this semester through tech reporting or research basics. So I won't have most of you in third semester, but if you have any questions, please contact me. I'm always happy to help.
Excellent, excellent. Jacob, anything you want to say?
Just a final reminder that fall registration, again, for continuing students that are service members is April 26th, and for all other continuing program students is April 27th, so next week.
Yep. And make sure that you register early. You can always switch those courses later on, but you want to get registered early to secure your spot and your preferred learning method in those couple of classes where you have options. So thank you very much, and you have a great rest of your day.